Welcome back, friends. Well, it's time for another edition of Lexplorations with Dr. Jason Swanson, UK tourism professor and ABC 36 correspondent, helping to share great stories and experiences in our beautiful city of Lexington.
So, Jason, you're going to introduce us to your latest assignment,
That's right.
Courtesy of our content partners at Visit Lex. And I understand we've got a double helping of Lexington art and history on this one.
That's right. It's a nice project that mixes art and history, but it's a very important part of Lexington history, and it's an important part of the American story. Being Black History Month, we wanted to showcase a digital walking tour that they have. It's called the I Was Here project, and it's a collaboration between artists and historians that tells the story of people who were enslaved in Lexington.
Let's take a look.
Black History Month challenges us to understand more about the struggle for freedom and equality. The area surrounding the old courthouse in downtown Lexington played an important part in American history. The I Was Here digital pass from visitlex.com provides an on-the-street museum that leverages the power of art to examine Lexington's history and inspire a more inclusive citizenship. I meet up with artist Marjorie Guyon in the Visit Lex Visitor Center inside the old courthouse to learn more. Tell me about the inspiration for this project. How did it come about?
I spent 25 years in my studio across the street, really absorbing the feeling of Lexington downtown, the history of what happened here. I probably spent more time looking out my window than anybody in the city. At the end of 2016, middle of November, I looked out my window and I had basically a vision of an African mother and child. And they moved from window to window like points of light. And it quickly grew to become a portrait of family, an emblematic, iconic set of ancestor spirit portraits.
Why is it important to showcase that part of American history here in Lexington?
The idea of the project is like any important building that you go to, like corporation, university, you'll see a portrait of the founder. You'll see the president of the university. So the idea is really to reshape American consciousness of the co-founders of our country.
It's really more than just about Black history. This is American history.
Exactly. This is the story of America.
And you just go into the two ways to view what's happening.
What I have been told in Lexington by people that are Black is that in the places where the portraits are, I feel safe, I feel welcomed, I feel like I am wanted there. So the conclusion I've drawn from it is that for Black people, the portraits function as memorial to ancestors whose names might never be known, but they also function to desegregate space. And so for these portraits, one of the ideas is that they had to be larger than life. When something is much bigger than you, it has a different effect. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
But you see how big he is?
Yeah.
It had to be.
Larger than life.
Right. And the idea is that the contribution that was made to America is bigger than us and has to be seen that way.
For me, as a tourism professor, I can relate to a community, a city, Lexington, wanting to make people feel welcome and trying to do that in an innovative way. But also, it's beyond being welcome. When you get here, we're going to give you something to think about and think about the world differently. And they're doing some great stuff like this project to help visitors and residents think differently about themselves.
Well, and Lexington really has been our petri dish because we've created this 24-site on-the-street museum that is a way to tell the history through a synthesis of the arts. You know, I've spent my whole life in art, and I believe is one of the greatest persuaders that there is, if done in a certain way and with a certain purpose.
People who complete the pass and visit all the I Was Here sites can pick up an artwork print from the Visit Lex Visitor Center. And they also may take with them a deeper understanding of our community's role in the American story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Compelling work. So
It really is.
So Jason, through this digital pass, we can be sure that we're not going to miss one of these powerful portraits.
Right, you can download the app on your phone and then basically do a walking tour around downtown. There's a lot of sites around the old courthouse and then even a little bit further down the streets too. But once you see one of these images in some of the buildings,
yeah,
then you look around and you notice so many more.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I didn't notice them until I was doing this. And
yes.
now whenever I'm downtown, I can't miss them.
I never knew that there was something like this.
Right, and then you see the image and then you can take your phone over there and learn more about it because there's more information.
Incredible.
I
love that.
That very first portrait you showed too was so powerful, so haunting. I thought for a second it was actually a picture from history, but they're using contemporary models and through her artistry, really kind of capturing time and place.
Right, and these images have been taken to other places too. She had they were on the World Trade Center in New York.
Yeah.
And so they're expanding this to other cities, but it started right here in Lexington.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Lexplorations continues.
Yes.
Jason, we appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
We're back with more. Stay with us.